What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday there was a small hotfix. This wasn't a title update, so you didn't have to download anything. But with this hotfix, we actually saw a little bit of weapon balancing, as well as a bunch of bug fixes. So in today's quick video, I just wanted to cover all of these changes. Now when it comes to the bug fixes and stuff, I'll let you guys just check that out for yourself. It's a bunch of just random little bugs and spelling errors and stuff in game that really don't have any effect on your gameplay whatsoever. However, there is one bug that will have an effect on your gameplay in Ground War. This is something that popped up after the last update, and it was really annoying. And this is when you were in the respawn screen and you were trying to select your respawn, it would consistently force you to reselect your class every single time. And if you were hovering over one of your squad mates, for instance, and their status changed so you could no longer spawn on them, you'd have to select your loadout again. And then sometimes you just ended up in like a loop of trying to select your loadout to spawn into the game. They have fixed that bug, which is really nice to see because that was really starting to get on my nerves. Additionally, they did fix a bunch of challenges that weren't actually working properly. I don't really know the details on these challenges because I'm not really into the whole challenge thing, but just know they fixed a bunch of those challenges, so if previously you weren't able to complete them, now you should be able to do them. The main thing I wanted to focus on for today's video is obviously the weapon balancing, because this is the stuff that actually has a serious impact on your gameplay. And the first thing here is the AUG with the 5.56 conversion got an increase to its close range damage, and it got an increase to mid damage range with a reduction to the chest multiplier. Now to be clear, this only affects the AUG if you're using the 5.56 rounds. I've seen some YouTubers posting videos of them using the standard AUG without the conversion, talking about how it was buffed and how it now shreds. That actually didn't change at all. It was just with the 5.56 conversion. And unfortunately, I didn't have the pre-patch stats collected for this particular conversion kit. I had the stats collected for the base gun, just not the conversion at this point. So I don't know the pre-patch values, but I can share with you guys what it looks like now. So with the 5.56 conversion, after the patch, you deal a base damage of 39, 28, 23, depending on the range that you're at. And that chest multiplier, interestingly enough, only applies to the 39 damage range, so the close range damage. And it's only a 1.08 multiplier, which takes our damage from 39 to 42 up close. And this chest multiplier doesn't really change any situations. There's really no difference in shooting them in the leg or the chest up close because this multiplier is just so small. And even looking at like interaction with headshots mixed in with chest shots versus leg shots or arm shots, it just doesn't really affect anything. So effectively speaking, we can basically just ignore the chest multiplier on the 5.56 version of the AUG. But having a look at the ranges as well, because apparently these changed, you can see here that our 3-shot kill range is relatively short. It's got a very good time to kill within that 3-shot kill range though. Then our 4-shot kill range is very solid. This is actually better than a lot of the assault rifles out there, which is great to see. Although when you look at the actual time to kill within that 4-shot kill range, it's not completely horrible, but it also doesn't stand out in any way. It's a little bit on the slow side compared to at least assault rifles in this game. But after that 40-meter 4-shot kill range, then it's going to be a 5-shot kill out to infinity. Overall, just looking at this statistically, the AUG with the 5.56 after this patch is a very solid gun, especially because you maintain the aim down sight and sprint out time of the SMG. But now let's move into the 725. This one got another nerf, and this time it was a proper nerf. It wasn't a nerf that also had a little bit of a buff attached to it like last time. What they did with this is they gave it a small reduction to the base weapon damage range. So this means your maximum damage range potential, your 1-shot kill range, has now been reduced. And just looking at it pre-patch, while aiming down sight, this was our maximum 1-shot kill range, and post-patch, you can see here, it's a little bit closer. So this thing doesn't reach out quite as far anymore, even while aiming down sight and hitting all your pellets. But on top of that, they also nerfed its hipfire ability, so they increased the hipfire spread, and they also mentioned in the patch notes they reduced the effective damage at the hip, which seems like a very strange change, and I wish I could test the shotguns a lot more effectively, like the individual pellet damage. But as it is right now, that is almost impossible to do properly with just hand testing. In either case, all you need to know is with hip firing, this gun isn't going to be quite as effective. This is the realistic 1-shot kill potential when firing from the hip now with the 725. Of course, that will be a little bit inconsistent depending on how many pellets are hitting, and there's always an element of randomness mixed in there. But this is about as good as you're going to get when it comes to hip fire for this. Now, one last thing they did to the 725 to nerf it is they significantly reduced the damage range added by attachments. So this right here is the 725 loaded up with all of your range increasing attachments with the exception of slugs. Now when you use slugs, that completely changes the gun. That's not what they're referring to in the patch notes. They're just referring to the other attachments that increase your range, like the choke for instance. And as you can see here, our one-shot kill range is a little bit better than without the attachments, obviously, but it's not really a massive increase to your one-shot kill potential by any means. And that pretty much covers it for the 725 nerfs. Personally, I really like what they've done here. They didn't completely destroy this gun by any means. It's still a very viable shotgun to use, but based on my testing here, and also based on what I've seen in-game, it's no longer that absolutely dominant powerhouse up close. You're still going to be able to get your kills with it, but I've been noticing a lot more often people that are using the 725 are just getting hit markers on me and then I manage to kill them. So I do think it's in a much better place now. I think it's got that great balance where if you're aiming down sight with this, it's an excellent shotgun to stretch the range a little bit, but now it's not really that hip-fire powerhouse up close anymore either, which is a great way to balance this gun in my opinion. I'm quite happy with these changes. But finally, there is one other gun that was nerfed, and this is the Model 680 shotgun. That's the pump action. And with this one, it got a slight reduction to the damage range with all of its range extending attachments. So without attachments, you can see here, this is our maximum one-shot kill potential, which is not quite as good as the 725, but pretty close. And now let's have a look with all of the range extending attachments, again, excluding the slugs. This is our maximum one-shot kill potential with the 680, which you can see is a noticeable increase. It definitely helps with your range, but again, you're not like doubling your range by any means by using these attachments. So with this change, first off, when I saw it in the patch notes, I thought it was crazy that they would be changing the Model 680 because I don't see this as an overpowered gun at all. I feel like it's actually balanced quite well for what it is. But perhaps pre-patch with the perfect attachment combo, this thing may have been overpowered. I don't really know because I haven't really played around with it all that much. But in either case, I am happy they didn't touch the base stats of this gun because like I said, I feel like this gun's in a pretty balanced state. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's video on that little hotfix that we got yesterday. We are expecting a much bigger patch within the next week or so, and this one will hopefully address a lot more of our issues, especially tanks in ground war. I think that's the big thing that we're waiting for, at least for us ground war players. It looks like they will be adjusting that within the next title update. So I'm really looking forward to that one, but of course, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the changes they made with this little hotfix that we got yesterday? Are you happy with the current state of the 725? Do you think they over-nerfed it? Do you think it needs more of a nerf? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.